What if I told you that the key to making her regret losing you isn't begging, pleading, or chasing her at all? What if the answer is so simple yet so mind-blowing that it will completely change how you look at relationships? Imagine the moment you stop caring about her reaction, her approval, or her attention. That's when she begins to lose control. You think she's the one in power, but what if I told you that's an illusion? What if the only way to make her feel what you want her to feel is to stop giving her what she expects? Stop giving her that emotional dependency, and you'll see everything shift. When you detach, you will unlock a power that no one can take from you, no one can manipulate. Ready to turn the tables. Most people get it all wrong. They think chasing her, seeking validation, and pleading for her to come back will get her to value them. Wrong. All it does is feed her ego and reinforce the idea that she's in control. The reality is that the more you chase, the less you'll ever get. The more you beg, the more she pulls away. Why? Because people never value what comes easy. We want what we can't have. Her mind is the game, and you need to understand how to play it, or you'll keep on losing. If you truly want to make her regret leaving you, you need to understand one simple concept. Silence is power. Absence is power. If you stop giving her what she expects, your attention, your validation, your energy, she'll start to wonder. She'll begin questioning herself, and that doubt will lead her to regret. I want you to comment below with "I control my emotions." This will remind you every single day that you're the one who holds the cards, not her. Now let's break this down and show you how to put this into action. Number 1. She expects you to chase. She expects you to beg. She expects you to sit in the pain, waiting for her to come back, because that's what most men do. She knows the pattern. Man falls in love. Woman pulls away. Man panics. Woman moves on. She knows you'll call. She knows you'll text. She knows you'll stare at your phone at 2 a.m., wondering what you did wrong, thinking of ways to fix it. But you don't realize the hardest truth of all. She doesn't want to be fixed. She wants to feel something, and right now, she feels nothing for you. You don't create excitement, mystery, or challenge anymore. You are predictable, and predictability is death to a woman's attraction. She has no reason to feel regret, no reason to miss you, no reason to second-guess her decision, because you're making it easy for her. She's moving forward while you sit in the past. She's out living her life while you stalk her online, checking when she was last active, dissecting every cryptic post she makes. You think you're figuring things out, but in reality, you're feeding into the exact narrative she expects. The narrative where she is the prize, and you are the desperate fool who lost her. And that is exactly why you need to flip the entire game on its head. She expects you to chase, so don't. She expects you to reach out, so vanish. She expects you to be broken, emotional, searching for answers, so rise above it. Because the moment you refuse to play by her rules, the moment you stop chasing, stop reacting, stop letting her dictate your emotions, she will feel something she wasn't prepared for. Uncertainty. And uncertainty is the most powerful emotion you can create in her mind. A woman's greatest fear isn't being single, it's realizing she miscalculated a man's value. And that's what you must make her feel. You must become the man she was too blind to see before. You must become the man who doesn't need her. The man who doesn't wait around for her to decide what she wants. The man who walks away first without looking back. That's the kind of man she regrets losing. Not the one who sends paragraphs about his feelings. Not the one who tries to make her jealous with social media games. Not the one who waits for her like a lost puppy. The one who disappears without a trace, like he never needed her at all. And don't misunderstand this. This isn't about getting her back. This is about reclaiming your power, about understanding your worth, and never allowing yourself to be a woman's emotional safety net again. Because if you don't learn this now, you'll repeat the same cycle over and over, losing time, energy, and self-respect. You have to stop letting women dictate your value. Stop thinking you lost something when she left. She lost you. And the second you internalize that, you win. Not because she comes back, but because you finally understand how the game works. You are no longer the one chasing. You are the one being chased. You are no longer trying to convince her of your worth. You are the one who decides if she's even worth your time. You want to know how to make her regret losing you. Become a man she can never have again. That means stop watching her stories. Stop liking her posts. Stop lingering in her shadow. Cut her off from your life completely, not as a tactic, but as a necessity. Because the only way to make her miss you, to make her rethink everything, is to become a man who doesn't look back. And that means no messages, no closure talks, no last words, just silence. And here's what's going to happen next. She's going to notice your absence. At first, she might act like she doesn't care. She might keep posting pictures, going out pretending life is perfect. But inside, something will shift. She was expecting you to be weak. She was expecting you to chase. And now she's faced with a reality she never considered. You actually moved on. She might not admit it. She might not show it, but she will feel it. She will question herself. And when that doubt creeps in, her regret begins. Number 2. Your silence triggers regret. The human brain is wired to crave what it can't have. When something is always there, always available, we take it for granted. But the second it's gone, completely gone, that's when the mind starts obsessing over it. That's when we begin to feel the weight of its absence. And that is exactly why your silence is your most powerful weapon. When you stop reaching out, stop reacting, stop giving her even the smallest bit of attention, you create scarcity. And scarcity creates value. Most men fail at this. They think they can fake indifference while secretly hoping she notices. They post mysterious Instagram stories, hoping she'll ask about them. They make subtle moves, trying to spark jealousy. All of that is weakness. She sees right through it. If you're doing something with the goal of getting her attention, you've already lost. You don't go silent to make her miss you. You go silent because she no longer deserves access to you. You go silent because you have better things to do than play emotional games with the woman who walked away from you. When you operate from this mindset, something incredible happens. You start to actually move on. And when you move on, you become the man she thought she could replace, but never truly can. At first, she won't react. She'll assume you're just taking space. She'll think you'll eventually cave, that you'll come crawling back like every other guy before you. But then the days turn into weeks, and you still haven't reached out. You still haven't checked in. And that's when her confidence begins to crumble. She'll start asking herself questions she wasn't prepared for. Was I wrong about him? Did he ever even love me? Has he already replaced me? Why? Why isn't he chasing me? And the worst thought of all, did I lose him forever? And that's when the regret starts sinking in. Her biggest fear isn't being single. Her biggest fear is realizing she made the wrong choice. The fear that she overestimated her value in your life. That she thought she could replace you easily. But now she's not so sure anymore. Because while she was expecting you to crumble, you disappeared. While she was waiting for the moment you'd come running back, you gave her nothing. And in that nothingness, her regret will grow like a fire she can't put out. She might try to suppress it. She might distract herself with attention from other men. But no matter how many new people she entertains, none of them will carry the same weight as the man she used to have but lost. Because when you remove yourself completely, she doesn't just lose you. She loses the version of herself that felt wanted, desired, and irreplaceable in your world. And that will haunt her. Because in the end, the more you ignore her, the more she feels it. The less you react, the more she notices. The moment you stop needing her, she starts needing you. And by then, it won't even matter. Because you'll be long gone, living a life she no longer has access to. Number 3. Indifference is power. The moment you become indifferent is the moment you reclaim control. When a woman sees that she can still trigger your emotions, still occupy your mind, still make you react, she knows she owns you. And that's why she never truly respects the man who can't control his emotions around her. When she sees you getting jealous, overanalyzing her actions, waiting for her next move, she knows she still has you in her grip. She doesn't have to say it. She doesn't have to acknowledge it. She just knows. And that knowledge keeps her comfortable, keeps her in control, keeps her above you. But the moment you show her nothing, no jealousy, no reaction, no emotional attachment, that's when she starts to feel something she wasn't prepared for: uncertainty. And uncertainty is the most powerful shift you can create in a woman's mind, because uncertainty forces her to rethink everything. The moment she starts doubting herself is the moment you stop being predictable. And when you stop being predictable, you become valuable again. A woman thrives on knowing she has the option to get you back whenever she wants. She might not want you today. She might not even want you tomorrow. But as long as she knows you're emotionally invested, she keeps you in the back of her mind as a safety net. This is why so many men stay stuck in the limbo of maybe. The woman doesn't commit, but she doesn't fully leave either. She keeps you on the hook, knowing you're still there if she ever wants to reel you back in. This is why your indifference is the ultimate power move. The moment she feels like she's lost access to your emotions, she begins to panic. And in that panic, she starts to obsess over the one thing she thought she had: your attention. When she starts realizing that you're not texting, not watching her stories, not responding to her bait, her entire perception of you begins to shift. Suddenly, you're not just an option. You're something she might never be able to get back. Most men fail at this. They try to fake indifference while secretly hoping she notices. They post things designed to make her jealous, hoping she'll reach out. They hold back their emotions just enough to create distance, but not enough to actually move on. Women see right through this. They know when a man is still emotionally dependent on them. They can sense when a man is acting detached but secretly hoping she comes back. And this is why most men never regain control, because they still care too much about the outcome. Indifference is not a game you play. It's a state of being. You don't ignore her to make her chase you. You ignore her because you have better things to do than waste time on a woman who doesn't see your value. You don't distance yourself to manipulate her emotions. You distance yourself because your time, your energy, and your peace of mind are too valuable to be spent on someone who didn't appreciate you when she had you. When you truly become indifferent, your actions change effortlessly. You stop feeling the need to check her social media because you genuinely don't care what she's doing anymore. You stop waiting for her to reach out because her attention no longer matters to you. You stop analyzing her behavior because your focus has shifted from her to yourself. And when she senses that shift, everything changes. The moment she feels that she's no longer in control, she starts to panic. She starts wondering why you're not reacting the way most men do. She starts asking herself questions she never had to ask before. Why isn't he chasing me? Did I misjudge him? What if I actually lost him for good? And that's when the seed of doubt is planted. That's when the regret begins to grow. She might try to test you. She might send a meaningless message to see if you'll bite. She might randomly react to your stories just to remind you she exists. She might throw out a half-hearted hope you're doing well just to see if she still has a hold over you. And the weak man will take the bait. He'll respond instantly, thinking, this is my chance to pull her back in. He'll start feeding her ego again, falling into the same trap he spent weeks trying to escape. And just like that, she regains control. But the man who understands true indifference, he doesn't react. He doesn't acknowledge the bait. He doesn't even entertain the possibility of playing her game. Because his focus isn't on her anymore. It's on himself. He doesn't need to prove anything to her. He doesn't need to convince her of his worth, because he knows she will feel it in his absence. Indifference doesn't mean hating her. It doesn't mean resenting her. It doesn't mean wishing her the worst. It simply means you no longer place her at the center of your world. It means you walk away without hesitation, without looking back, without needing closure. Because closure is an excuse for men who still want to hold on to hope. And hope is the most dangerous thing a man can have when it comes to a woman who already walked away. She doesn't regret the man who chases. She doesn't regret the man who begs. She doesn't regret the man who waits around for her decision. She regrets the man who vanished. The man who she thought would always be there, but suddenly isn't. The man who didn't fight for her because he realized she wasn't worth the fight. The man who didn't try to win her back because he understood that a woman who truly valued him wouldn't have left in the first place. That is the man she regrets losing. The man who became untouchable. The man who became a ghost in her memory. A what if she can never go back to. And the most powerful part, by the time she realizes it, you won't even care anymore. You won't be sitting around, waiting for her to figure it out. You'll already be long gone, focused on your goals, your purpose, your mission. You'll be in the gym, improving your body. You'll be building your career, making more money. You'll be living your best life while she's sitting there, wondering how she let you slip through her fingers. She expects you to need her. She expects you to crave her attention. She expects you to fall apart without her. Prove her wrong. Show her that you don't just survive without her. You thrive. Show her that you never needed her in the first place. Show her that her absence did nothing but push you further into greatness. That is the ultimate revenge. That is the ultimate power move. That is how you make a woman regret losing you, without ever saying a word. Indifference isn't just a strategy. It's a way of life. The second you stop caring what she thinks, what she feels, what she does, you win. And when you win, you become a man she can never control again. So don't give her the reaction she expects. Don't give her the attention she craves. Don't give her the satisfaction of knowing she still occupies space in your mind. Give her nothing. Because in your nothingness, she will feel everything. This is where so many men fail. They think that just because she reached out, just because she sent a harmless little message, it means she's changed her mind. No, she's just testing the waters. She's checking if she still has a hold over you. And the second you take the bait, the second you respond, the second you show even the slightest bit of neediness, she knows. She knows she still has you, that you haven't changed, that you're still the same man she walked away from. She will do this in ways that you won't even recognize at first. She might accidentally text you something meaningless. Oops, wrong person. She might suddenly like an old photo of yours or pop up in your stories after weeks of silence. She might send a casual, hope you're doing well message just to see if you'll jump at the chance to talk to her again. She might even be bold enough to ask if you still think about her. And most men crumble. Most men bite the bait immediately. They take these small, meaningless gestures as signs that she still cares. They drop their guard. They tell themselves, maybe this is my chance to fix things. And before they know it, they're back in her world, back feeding her ego, back under her control. And what happens next? She pulls away again. She goes back to ghosting. She goes back to entertaining other men. She goes back to leaving you hanging. Because now she got what she wanted. She got proof that she still has you. She won the test. And you just wasted all your progress. You have to understand, these tests never stop. Whether she's your ex, your girlfriend, or even a woman you just started dating, she will test you. She needs to. She needs to know that the man she's dealing with is a man who can control his emotions, who can stand firm in his masculinity, who doesn't fall apart the second she gives him a little attention. So, what do? You ignore it. You do nothing. She likes your photo. You don't like hers back. She sends you a weak, meaningless message. You don't reply. She tries to accidentally run into you. You keep walking. And when she realizes that none of her tricks are working, that she can't get the emotional reaction she was expecting, that's when the panic sets in. That's when she starts to wonder if she really lost you for good. A woman only truly regrets losing a man when she no longer has access to his emotions, when she feels his absence in a way that makes her question her own decisions, when she starts to wonder if he was actually the prize all along. But you will never create that feeling in her if you fail her tests. You will never make her regret losing you if you keep giving her the validation she craves. Women only chase what they can't fully have. They only respect what they can't control. And they only regret the man who disappears completely without leaving a trace. So when she tests you, when she tries to lure you back in, when she throws out those weak little breadcrumbs to see if you'll react, do nothing. Not because you're playing a game. Not because you're trying to be cold, but because you have already moved on. And when she finally realizes that, that's when you win. Number 5. How to stay emotionally unavailable. She expects you to crumble. She expects you to sit in the pain, scrolling through old messages, rereading her words, analyzing what went wrong, wondering if you could have changed the outcome. She expects you to wait, to hesitate, to linger in the past while she moves forward. She assumes you'll be another man enslaved to his emotions, trapped in the cycle of regret and false hope. But you won't, because from this moment forward, you are untouchable. You don't break. You don't fold. You don't give her the satisfaction of knowing she still holds power over you. You will not be another desperate, broken man waiting for a woman's validation to feel whole again. You must learn the art of emotional unavailability, not as a game, not as a manipulation tactic, but as a way of self-preservation. When a woman sees that she cannot affect your emotions, that she cannot control your mind, that she cannot bend you with her absence, she feels it. That loss of power shakes her at her core, forcing her to confront the brutal reality. She was never as important to you as she thought. And that is when everything shifts. That is when you take control, not just of the situation, but of your entire life. Because emotional unavailability is not just about handling relationships. It's about mastering yourself. If you want to stay emotionally unavailable, you need to do one thing above all else. Stop making women your purpose. If you wake up every morning thinking about her, checking your phone for a message that will never come, hoping that she suddenly realizes what she lost, you've already lost. If you make your decisions based on what she might think, how she might react, whether she'll notice, you're still giving her control. A man who is truly emotionally unavailable operates on his own time, his own goals, his own reality. His mind is occupied with growth, power, purpose, and dominance over his own life. He doesn't sit around waiting for a woman to dictate his emotional state. He dictates it himself. When a woman sees that she is no longer the center of your universe, she starts to feel the void of knowing that she had access to a man who is now completely out of reach. The void of knowing that she miscalculated. The void of realizing that you no longer care, no longer crave, no longer seek. You must be ruthless in your detachment. If she reaches out, if she throws breadcrumbs, if she tries to stir emotions inside you, not because you're trying to win, but because she is no longer relevant. When a man can fully detach, when he can walk away without hesitation, without looking back, without needing closure, he becomes the man she regrets losing forever. Women only respect men who are a mystery. The moment she figures you out, the moment she knows your every move, you become predictable, boring, replaceable. She needs to feel the uncertainty, the lack of access, the inability to control you. She needs to sit in the discomfort of wondering why you don't care, why you're not affected, why you're not running back to her like she expected. Most men fail at this because they never truly move on. They fake indifference, but their actions expose them. They still watch her stories, still check her online status, still wait for the day she comes back. And she senses it. She knows when a man is truly gone and when he is just pretending. You don't just act emotionally unavailable. You become it. You rewire your mind to stop placing value on her attention, her words, her presence. You train yourself to wake up every day with a mission bigger than her. You build a life so powerful, so magnetic, so impenetrable that even if she begged to come back, you wouldn't even blink. Most men never reach this level because they are too weak to let go. They cling to fantasies, to memories, to illusions. They chase after women who have already mentally replaced them, hoping for one last chance, one last conversation, one last opportunity to prove themselves. But you are not most men. From this moment forward, you are untouchable. You stop waiting for a woman to validate your worth. You stop seeking closure. You stop giving energy to someone who walked away. You focus on becoming a man so powerful, so emotionally unshakable, so focused on his own path that she becomes irrelevant in your world. And when she realizes that, when she feels your absence in its full force, that's when she will regret everything. The shift. She chases you now. You stopped chasing. You stopped reacting. You stopped playing her games. And now something strange is happening. At first, she was confident. She thought she had it all figured out. She thought you would be just like every other man. Easy to replace, easy to control, easy to forget. But now she's starting to question everything. She's starting to feel something she never expected. Doubt. She starts wondering if she made a mistake. She starts checking your social media more often just to see what you're up to. She starts asking about you through mutual friends, trying to gauge whether you've moved on. She starts showing up in places where she knows you'll be, not because she wants to rekindle things right away, but because she needs to figure something out. She needs to know if you still care. She needs to know if you're still an option. Because if you're not, that changes everything. And this is where most men fail again. The moment they see her coming back, the moment they see her showing any kind of interest, they jump at the opportunity. They start pursuing again. They start giving her all the validation she was missing. And just like that, she wins. She gets the confirmation she needed. You were never really over her. You were just pretending. But the man who truly understands his worth, the man who has leveled up so much that he no longer even sees her as a priority, that man doesn't even acknowledge her return. He doesn't change his course. He doesn't shift his focus back onto her, because he has already won. When you stop chasing, when you stop reacting, when you fully embrace your own value, she has no choice but to come to you. She starts thinking about you more than she ever expected. She starts wondering if she ever really understood who you were in the first place. She starts feeling the weight of her decision in a way that no amount of distractions, no amount of new men, no amount of fake confidence can fix. Because for the first time, you are not available to her anymore. This is where you have a choice. You can take her back, knowing that she only came back because she started doubting herself. Or you can keep moving forward, knowing that you are now in a position of complete control. And the truth is, by the time she comes back, by the time she starts chasing, by the time she starts realizing what she lost, you won't even want her anymore. Because you'll be a different man. You will have leveled up beyond what she even recognizes. You will have built a life so powerful, so fulfilling, so abundant, that her return will feel like a step backward. That is true power. That is true self-respect. She will chase you, but you will already be gone. The truth is, if you want her to regret losing you, you have to stop caring about whether she regrets it or not. You have to let her go. You have to show her that you are your own person and that your emotional state doesn't depend on her. Remember, silence is power. Absence is power. Indifference is power. When you stop chasing, stop validating, stop needing her, you take back control of your life, your emotions, and your destiny. So I want you to comment below. I take control of my emotions. This will be your reminder that you are the one in control, that you hold the power. If this video has helped you, if you've learned something valuable today, support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. By supporting this channel, you're helping more men learn the truth. And together, we can change lives.